Hello, and welcome. Welcome on into the Swear Word. I'm your host, Brandon Swear, and hey, this is a podcast for the chilihead community, by the chilihead community. Regardless of your spice tolerance, this is the place for you. Man, we have an amazing show here tonight. We're going to be talking spice all around the world. And tonight we're not going to have a hot or not featured as just rolling off the cusp of Zest Fest happening and a whole bunch of meet and greets and trying different products and having a great time. We're going to be focusing on a nice reset here, be able to explore a nice fun topic. But episode 107 starts now. All right, hey, welcome on in, Swear Nation. So glad to have everyone here rocking and rolling. Whether you're tuning in on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, or Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for being here and making this podcast what it is. Continue to share this out with other like-minded chili heads or individuals that are just curious about the world of hot, because this is where you can find everything to do with the world of hot. So, up tonight, as I had mentioned, we're going to be talking about spice all around the world. What does it mean? What are different countries known for, the tolerances, etc. So, tonight is really going to be talking about, it doesn't really matter what your tolerance is or any of that. We're going to be diving in the realm of the global tour of heat. I'm talking, spice tolerance around the world on average, according to data that is out there now, and as well as talking about what kind of peppers each country is known for and some cultural heat facts for you as well that you might not know, but you now will know. So also, whether you're into the mild tang or the nuclear napalm, there's something for you here. And don't forget, you're going to be talking about the favorite peppers or your favorite story from the different corners of the world. I would love to hear about that. So go ahead and shoot me a message on socials or drop a comment down below in this podcast and let me know what your favorite pepper or spicy story is from where you're from. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and jump into tonight's first topic. All right, first up, who's actually got the highest spice tolerance? Well, let's go ahead and start off with the big dogs. And this is just simply based off of, some quick research online, also utilizing different search algorithms and trying to figure out based on cuisine, based on, we'll dive into this. So, first up, we have India as being in that top echelon. We're going to kind of break it down into three different echelons here. So in that higher heat echelon, we have India here. India is put here on this, threshold, if you will, based on the curries that are packed with the dried red chilies. You got ghost peppers and many more. Spice is not only just a part of the culture's identity, but, very well known throughout the dishes and as far as being able to supply the world with some great peppers. So India has made it into that top echelon, if you will, of heat tolerance per country. Next up, we have Thailand as being on here. For the bird's eye chili, it's no joke. The Thai dishes hit high on the Scoville and flavor charts. And I'm not talking, comparing just what a chili head is going to do to a dish versus really what is going to be able to be enjoyed or found in a common dish as well. So this is going to be highlighting and focusing on those avenues, and Thailand has made the cut for some of the higher heat natural dishes and flavors and experiences off the charts right there. So absolutely a lovely addition there. Next up, we have, Mexico. So from jalapenos to habaneros, to very beautiful and balanced moles. Spice runs deep here. You're not going to be missing out on any kind of pepper addition to a dish. There's going to be some kind of heat, some kind of pepper source worked into just about anything and everything that you're going to get, from Mexico. So Mexico has made that list as well. And then Nigeria and West Africa. So Scotch bonnets and stew, and you have soups, and you're both bringing in that heat, a little bit of a fruity kick, and that's ultimately why Nigeria / West Africa have been brought into the conversation here. So next up, we have Korea. We have the gochujang, as well as, it's not being very super hot in that realm, but it is used everywhere. The love for chili is next level, and definitely one that as well is worked into so many different dishes, so many different avenues. You have no lack of use of peppers or pepper flakes or powders, etc., in dishes. And of course, we definitely could not forget in this top group here, Trinidad and Tobago. We have the home of the Moruga scorpion. Pretty well stated there, enough said. So don't worry, that is the top round, just average on the countries. That makes that top group round out. So now you're wondering, what are those medium heat zones? Well, fortunately / unfortunately, U.S., we did not make the top cut just based on lack of use of spice in dishes. And once again, not reflective of us chili heads that are pushing ourselves and enjoying the heat and everything. This is taking the global consensus into consideration. So up first for the medium heat zone, we have USA. It's a mixed bag. Some regions are all in. Hello, Louisiana, and others not so much. But the hot sauce boom is definitely real and has helped fuel and push the overall growth of spice and spice loving in the United States. So that makes it a medium zone here. Next up, well, this one might be a little bit shocking, but China. Spice isn't just heat here. It's also about numbing and layers of flavor. Really, they focus on having spice, but it's not known to constantly have spice in just about everything. Next up, we have Jamaica. Again, Scotch bonnets are king, but dishes are balanced with flavor and heat. And yes, while there is a lot of spicy dishes here, given the average, overall consumption coming from there as well as use into dishes, this is why it made the medium heat zone. And, well, we have as well Brazil. Brazil has peppers that are packed with punch, but they're also used in moderation, and this is kind of why it has fallen in that medium heat zone. That's not always just about fire and flavor and all the fun stuff here. It is, worked in there. It is nice, but it is definitely making the medium heat zone here. Up next, we have Peru with the ají amarillo. Super flavorful, medium spice, and a national treasure. Absolutely a great pepper to snack on, and one for all those who are starting out to be able to enjoy pushing themselves and finding those happy bridges between flavor and heat and being able to continue on their own personal tolerance. So now you're probably wondering, if those made the medium range, what is going to, round out this lower spice zone here? So up next, we have Japan. These are really geared towards the more umami, more so than fire and heat and all that there. Now, there are some spicy dishes as well from Japan, but the collective whole is much more around savoriness, the umami, the depth, and really just being able to enjoy the overall experience without quite so much heat. So that for that reason, Japan has been moved to the lower spice zone. Next up, I'm going to kind of combine a few here together. This is going to be France, Germany, UK. These are traditionally dishes that avoid high heat, though spice fans exist here. And of course, as I have mentioned, as with all of these, just because us chili heads that like to push ourselves are there, comparing us versus the collective whole, we are still the lower a group, if you will, amongst the rest of the country as far as what they eat. So that is why France, Germany, and UK have made it into the lower spice zone. Next up, we have, and I know I have featured some sauces from here that definitely have tons of heat and flavor, but collectively as a whole, they're still growing, but Canada, and we'll add in the Nordics here. So as growing curiosity is, happening there, it's more than just a cultural staple. So they're starting to add more. You're starting to see more growth. More great sauce companies are coming out of Canada and really being able to push those limits. And I love to see that grow. I argue that I think the Canadian side of this probably should be as well in that medium spice zone range, but going simply off of the data that I was able to find and research here collectively, and trying to exclude the onesies, twosies, and chili heads all across the world that are in a smaller number than the mass public. So that is how that all broke down. But just a note, spice tolerance isn't only about culture, it's climate, tradition, availability, and taste. Some cultures never needed it, and others couldn't cook without it. So that is a fun, quick breakdown of what that looks like from a global scale on countries based on their heat tolerance. But now we're going to be talking about the list of countries and what peppers they are known for. So, up first, well, let's just go ahead and get the very most common, infamous, everyone knows it, the jalapeno and the habanero. Both of these are coming from Mexico. These are your global icons. Just about everyone is familiar with them. An absolute, pleasure for entertaining the idea of a good night of grilling, making some salsa, or, introducing a friend, a family member, someone to the world of hot. You've probably walked them over to a jalapeno or habanero before to gauge their reaction and how they would feel and handle this. So up next, we have the United States. Now, this one is a bit hard to fully pinpoint, so I will mention a few here, but I'm ultimately going to leave it differently. So the U.S. is known for the 7-Pot Primo as well as the Carolina Reaper. Love it or fear it, we breed it hot here in the United States, and this is why I would like to go ahead and just say collectively as a whole, from the Superhot side of the world with crazy crosses and all the fun things, the U.S. is known for much more of the extreme Superhots, crossbreeding, all the fun stuff. That is where the United States is mostly known for. Next up, we have India. Well, can you guess it? Do you know it? I bet you do. It's the Boot Jolokia, the ghost pepper, once the world's hottest, and everyone, you're either team love it or hate it, but the indicative taste, the way it burns, the way it comes on and builds, it is like no other. It is definitely near and dear to my heart, and one that I would constantly love to snack on and enjoy. the ghost pepper or boot jolokia, depending on how you want to look at it or how you want to break it down. That is India's pepper. So next up, we have Thailand. That is the bird's eye chili. It's small, but it's mighty. And we're going to go ahead and mark that one down. There's a few others that came up, but ultimately the most resounding based on, overall search volume, use in dish, Thai bird's eye is the go-to. All right, so these next two I'm not quite as familiar with, and I might end up butchering the name. So if I do, I deeply apologize. But up for China, I have the Jing Tao, and that apparently is utilized a lot, especially in the Szechuan cuisines. So, not very familiar with it. Quick little search. It looks nice. I would definitely be interested in trying some out, but I have no personal experience with that. But that is what came up for China's pepper, the Jing Tao. All right, next up, I might be mispronouncing these two. I have no actual experience with either of them, and if I have, definitely do not remember trying them before. So if I mispronounce these next two peppers, I apologize. But China has the Jing Tao, which apparently is especially used in Szechuan cuisines. It's a highly used pepper in that area, in that type of cuisine. So the Jing Tao from China is a one that has made the list for China. From Korea is the Yang. This is apparently a sharp, green, and very spicy pepper. Once again, I looking at the images, not too familiar with it. Does not look like something that I have had before, but definitely piques my curiosity. And both of those peppers are ones that I would love to try. So up next, we have Jamaica. Well, we have Jamaica down for the Scotch bonnet. As all of you who have tried them know, they are very fruity, they are very fiery, and they are very fantastic. Absolutely an amazing pepper here. It is, much in line with a habanero, but a much brighter, much nicer, fruitier taste. An absolute pleasure to eat and to enjoy. Jamaica Scotch bonnet, we have that one down. Up next, we have Brazil. This is another pepper that I don't believe I'm familiar with. It doesn't look familiar, sound familiar, but apparently it is very spicy. It has a nice smoky note, and it is commonly used in stews in Brazil, and that's the malagueta. Once again, apologies for mispronouncing it. I know I definitely am, because it definitely... it has to be something other than how I just said that, but malagueta is what I was able to find out as the pepper of Brazil that is most commonly used in stews. Once again, it is spicy with a slight touch of smoky. Another one I would love to check out and try and figure out what they're all about. Up next, we have Peru coming in with the ají amarillo. It is a bright yellow, flavorful pepper, just a nice, overall enjoyable pepper to be able to eat, snack on, bring with you, pack with your lunch. You're going to be able to enjoy this one, and if you're building up your tolerance and you're trying to find a nice mid-gap, between the Serrano to the Cayenne, the ají amarillo is going to be a nice, enjoyable one there. And you're going to be able to have more flavor. So definitely check that one out. Up next, we have Trinidad. Well, we already mentioned it earlier, but the Moruga scorpion. Among the world's hottest, the Moruga scorpion is absolutely a pleasure to eat. It has definitely got tons of heat and tons of flavor. So if you're jumping in that realm, know that you need to buckle up, because you're about to go on a wild ride there. That is for sure. Ghana, Nigeria, we have the peri peri or the Scotch bonnet. Both are common and respected and used in many dishes. So whether you like the peri peri or the Scotch bonnet more, Ghana, Nigeria, that is respectively, the peppers that have come up based on the overall research. So from Turkey, we have the Aleppo pepper. This is smoky and rich. It's a nice, big size, nice stuffing pepper here. Definitely one that you can be able to enjoy. Nice, low heat, nothing super crazy, but a great cooking pleasure and one that you're able to utilize in the kitchen for so many different avenues. But Hungary, well, we have paprika. Not hot, and it is deeply flavorful, commonly used, but paprika and making it for Hungary. So Italy, we have, well, the Calabron chili. Once again, might be mispronouncing that. Apologize there. This I have had, and I do know it has a nice savory, nice little kiss of spiciness, but it definitely pairs perfectly with some oils. The way that I had it was crushed up in some oils and using that as a dip for some great bread. So absolutely amazing. I'm already mouth-watering thinking about it. But Japan, we have the shishito. So this is a mild with an occasional kick, very tame pepper, but tons of flavor. You can have these fresh, you can have them roasted. Either way, they are absolutely tasty. And if you haven't tried them, check them out. Shishitos are oftentimes readily available at most grocery stores. So check those out. Highly recommend roasting those in a pan, a little bit of salt, a little bit of butter, and just enjoy the overall flavor. So Spain, we have the padron. This is, often you'll see grilled or eaten whole. It is just absolutely amazing. Similar, I would say, to the overall experience and fun nature of the shishito. You're going to be able to kind of use the same thing. I would highly recommend pan searing or grilling these. They're just absolutely amazing. But Spain is the padron pepper. So each of these peppers, they all have a flavor story. Some are sweet, some are earthy, some are just downright mean and they're ready to burn you up. But learn them and love them and how they play into your food, into your overall day to day. And you're going to have tons and tons of fun doing so. But up next, we're going to be talking about the cultural views on spice. So let's talk cultural identity. And so spice is tied to more than just taste. In the tropical regions, spices helped preserve foods. In colder ones, well, there wasn't much need. So in India or Thailand, spice is part of medicine and tradition. And in the US, it has quickly become more about a daring nature and challenge that is going on, and really finding that overall love and passion of watching others around you sweat profusely from eating a spicy challenge or spicy pepper. But what's cool here is how it has migrated and how this has changed things as a whole. Nowadays, you'll see sriracha in Paris or ghost pepper burgers in Berlin. And also, well, the chili pepper is not just native to India, Thailand, or Korea. It's from the Americas. So Christopher Columbus helped spread it. And even if he didn't know it at the time, it has made an impact on the world today as we know it. With the continued creation of different sauces and different perspectives and outlooks and reaches on the spicy industry as a whole, whether they're crafting a great hot sauce, a nice and spicy blend, or something that has captivated you from a passed down recipe that has been in the family for years. Peppers and spice have helped really engage the world and continue to grow in dominance as year over year spice continues to be welcomed by the masses. Well, now it's just global and belongs to us all. So as I had mentioned, different countries and their outlooks and their different respective realms, this is where I start to tie back in the overall chilihead aspect, the love for what we're doing and why we're here in the first place, the love of capsaicin and being able to share that with others and find ways that they might, otherwise have balked at, but they now have encountered it in a dish or in a sauce or in some form or fashion, and now they have fallen in love with it, and y'all get to share in that moment together. So, overall, what is the takeaway here? That is to try global flavors, respect heat, but don't forget to chase the flavor. As you start building your tolerance to heat, you'll slowly start to train your palate. You'll start to mix flavor with function. You'll find which peppers, sing out to you more so in one dish or another. Oftentimes, I'll talk to other chili heads who do enjoy eating peppers, and what they like to do most is find a pepper, get a dish, and find what pepper pairs best with that dish just by simply, taking a bite here and of the food and taking a bite of the pepper, seeing how it plays together. Finding fun and creative ways to, introduce spice into many different avenues, whether that be on popcorn while snacking and watching a movie, or creating a nice, daring, and spicy dessert for the friends, family, whatever the function is that you're getting together, and absolutely having a great time. But I do want to say, for everyone that is watching and listening, to go out, try a hot sauce, try a pepper from a country that you've never explored, and then go ahead, tag me, message me, tell me what blew your mind about that, or blew your taste buds away, and share that experience and just start to explore and have fun with what's going on in this spicy world of ours. So, once again, this is a nice, quick, short wrap towards the follow-up of Zest Fest. So I want to go ahead and say that the spicy trip around the world, I hope that you have all learned something here, maybe laughed a little bit, but took some notes so that your next chapter towards your pepper purchase or your hot sauce purchase, or really rethinking that menu for the upcoming week, you're able to find fun, creative, and playful ways to introduce new cuisines from around the world, new peppers that you haven't tried, or trying out a new hot sauce or spicy pepper blend that can really bring some diverse change to your overall day-to-day menu rotation, and you can really just savor that heat and that amazing notes of the flavor in the dish that you have going on. So, now, as you have all been watching and noticing tonight, not having a hot or not featured here, just coming back from Zest Fest, looking actually over here at what is online for hot or not reviews, as well as just ones that I simply enjoy and would love to enjoy again, all gracing over here. I will be uploading those photos here shortly of the different haul that came from Zest Fest, as well as a good idea of certain guests to start expecting to see, as well as some that are not here in this current lineup from what came back from Zest Fest. But it was so much fun to be able to, sit there, talk with, have a great time, try some amazing products, and get to see so many happy faces, as well as those that were just absolutely blown away by the different offerings from everyone there. So thank you all for, heading over there, saying hi while I was there, as well as being able to hear about what sauces really caught your attention or which products caught your attention the most while at Zest Fest. But do know that Hot or Not will be rolling out very soon. It is going to start making its way back into the podcast, but in a new way, as we're going to be trying out a nice quick hit version. And there will be the full length version of the review still out there as its own standalone. But this way, it'll free up the podcast so that we'll have more time for the guest interview, more fun for games, etc., and any kind of announcements that roll out. So expect that on the podcast, hot or not, at least for the time being. We'll find out, see what everyone likes best. Will be at most a 3-minute-ish window for hot or not, and then from there having the full length breakdown as its own standalone. But hey, could not do this without y'all, Swear Nation. Make sure to follow the Swear Word on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, Apple Podcasts, or any of the major platforms to keep up to date with what is going on. And hey, if you've found value to your spice life, or if you've learned something, or you love what I'm doing here on the podcast and everything that's going on, please leave a review down below. Share this around with other fellow chili heads, or, go ahead and support the show through the Heat Wave or Inferno sponsorships if you have a company, or if you're just an individual that's out there enjoying the podcast and want to support in other ways. You can become a citizen of the Swear Nation today, and there's some fun exclusive stuff that is going to be rolling out here very soon. Already some of it is there, but currently with the website, we will be having that coming up soon with some nice promos, some behind-the-scenes stuff, some videos that didn't make it to YouTube. All that kind of exclusive fun stuff is going to be in the Citizen of Swear Nation package. So head on over to the website. That is theswearword.net to stay up to date with all of that. And much love, Swear Nation. Stay spicy. And from everything from the world of hot, this has been the Swear Word.